G'day everyone and welcome back to part 3 of this little stage build that's now for some reason turned into a massive arena show. If you're new to the channel, everyone that's subscribed and has been around for a while knows that I tend to just go over the top with these shows, so bear with me as it gets bigger and bigger. But at the moment in this video we're pretty much going to cover the fire effects that I'm going to do and then the fireworks, and then at the end of the video, thanks to some really good feedback from my 5-minute lighting tutorial, it's going to be a more slowed down real breakdown of that copying period. As you can see, I've got everything laid out now and it's more of just explaining it without that rush time in it, which is what a lot of people wanted to see. So I'll put timestamps in the video for that, but yeah, as it stands right now, this will be uploaded on Friday, and then on Monday you will have the full show uploaded on YouTube, and then it'll be on the workshop at the same time. Hopefully I can get them to go up at the same time. But I kind of need your help again with this sort of decision of, do you want the whole show to be one package in the blueprint? Would you like the arena to be separate and the stage to be separate, and then you can put them together if you want? I'm just not sure how to do it. I was leaning towards doing what I did in my stadium show in Planet Coaster, of having the arena as a fully downloadable sandbox or workshop item. I'm not sure how many pieces it is, so I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to do it, but then I would create stage pieces to fit inside of it, and then you could just add whatever you want. So like the WrestleMania, the WWE Raw, the DEF CON stages, you could put in that arena, and then depending on if your PC catched fire or not, you'd be able to watch the shows and play. But for the first time playing around in the fireworks at the end, I really struggled with the frame rates. It's the first time I've had some problems, so I had to cut it back. I didn't do as many fireworks as I would have liked, but I might tweak that a little bit. As I said, I've got Saturday and Sunday to really like play around and have fun. And I don't know if you have seen my TikTok, but Movie World has called me out with the Movie World build that I did, and they'd love to see me create the flash coaster, which is something I skipped over in my Movie World build. So make sure you keep an eye out for that too, because that's going to be really cool to really see and recreate. But to keep you updated with the video, I like to create fire effects in all of my shows. I think it just adds just a little bit extra level of, not realism, but for a concert like this, it's pretty common to see fire effects without having to break the budget on a fireworks show, to say. So I kind of was watching a lot of country music festivals and rock festivals and all that sort of stuff, just to really bring all of these designs together with the arena build in itself. So when I started designing the show, which you'll see on Monday, I really wanted to make it feel real. So at first I designed it, everything would trigger at the exact time it needed to, and when I kept watching it, it just felt too robotic, if that's a word. I don't know what the word is for, but it just seemed too strange for everything to be going off at the right time. So I ended up deleting a lot of the fireworks part of this. I know we're up to the fire, but a lot of the fireworks part I deleted because I just wanted it to be, if someone was lighting the fireworks by hand, or they were like a music festival, yes, they do have timed fireworks and all sorts of stuff, but I wanted this to feel really like grassroots of, they've thrown this together, the bands agreed to have fireworks go off in their show, and you just have someone just triggering fireworks to go with the beat of the music. So you'll see that part later, but I really struggled with the fire placement, if that makes sense. So when I was designing the arena itself, obviously I have the scissor lift stands in the back, and then I have the TV monitor stands, which would be really cool, Planet Coaster, when we can add our own custom music and custom videos again. So I'm very excited for when that happens, because I probably will make this a lot bigger. I've really started playing around with these arena builds, and I'm just having so much fun creating stuff that the game, well, I don't know, can you say it wasn't designed to make? Like, these pieces are here, so really they just give you the freedom to create whatever you want. And I think I'm just getting lost in that creation process, and it's been so fun. Like, I cannot recommend just putting your headphones on and playing. Like, it's just a different level of fun. But normally in a fireworks show, like with my DEF CON shows and stuff like that, it's a lot easier to do music and stuff like that, where I can find a certain section and press play and continue on. And at the moment, with the sequencer the way it is, as good as it is, when the Planet Coaster 2 team adds a bit more stuff, hopefully you are watching, if you are watching, updates to the sequencer. Should I do a video on this? I feel like I should do a video on this, that might help. But just like the play and pause button, if you could help with that, not having to start a video every time from the beginning. Probably the biggest thing I would love would be a wavelength in the video, so that, hey, if you can't fix the starting from the beginning thing, at least I can see where fireworks are going to go off, where they're going to explode. If you're familiar with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, in their sequencer it had the, say if a firework would take off, it would have the initial launch, it would have the first explosion, second explosion, third explosion, all in the little like bubble when you select something. So when you put that up, you can see, okay, well I need this to go, the second explosion to go off at this part of the song, and you could adjust and play around like that. So hopefully that's something that comes soon. And then the other thing is obviously at the moment with the placement of fireworks, it's when you select a firework, it doesn't immediately put it like triggering. Like, I've had to go into every one of them and select fire every 10 seconds just to try and see it, rather than as before you would just see how, like, I selected it to move, then it would trigger like the firework every time you would select it like that. So you'd be able to go, okay, well this is good with the colors, this is good with the placement and the angle and different stuff like that, rather than having to go through the sequencer thing itself. So you see, when I design the fireworks shows, until obviously it gets fixed, is I lay all the fireworks out and then I go, okay, well I want this one, and I copy from that, this one, I'll copy from that. And normally I do where every firework is laid out in a row, and then I can just click that sequencer and go, oh, I like that, I like this, I like that, and then take whatever I needed out of it when I got up to it. So that part of it, it's the game will improve over time. I'm a bit worried that it'll change and that I'm going to be screwed because I've just learned all of this stuff, and then it'll change again. But with the towers going around the arena, I do have a little surprise coming with that. You probably can guess what's going to happen with it, with its own lighting and probably fireworks going off on the top. As you can see, there's a reason why normally I would just do these videos and upload on a Saturday, but I really want to try and get a structure back of letting videos breathe, because I feel like I stuffed up with a lot of my videos of releasing them back to back, and maybe some people missed it, maybe some people got it, it was really hard to try and build an audience for the YouTube videos. Like, as I've said in my previous videos, I'm really trying to make this, like, give it a go and be able to say, like, look, I gave it the best shot I had at YouTube. And I know it's not for everyone, not everyone can be like this successful person, but I'm gaining like 50 subscribers every 48 hours, and it's getting like scary how many views I'm getting in my videos. So as I've always said, views are the massive driving force behind it. Like, allowing me to create weird things like this and then still responding and enjoying the videos has been insane, because, like, not to shit on any other creators, but I've seen some YouTubers that are creating stuff like this listen to their audience and then they end up just giving up on the game. Like, I've seen a couple of people do that with Planet Coaster. And, like, I was a fan. Like, I used to watch like Geekism and Sandalwolf and The Lady and like all of that. Like, I was inspired by them. And then I brought the game, and it can be overwhelming watching their creations and going, holy, like, I'm good, but I'm not that good. Like I don't understand how they create the things they do. They're insane, some of their builds. Like I don't know, like if you've been watching some of their creations, but like I just love downloading them and walking through the park. Like as good as it is to watch it on YouTube, and I always say like go and watch it on YouTube, but downloading the parks themselves and just looking through and seeing the craft of the placement and the building is just brain exploding. Now I'm going on about other YouTubers, but hey, if you're still here at the 10-minute mark, as always, you're watching. But with the fire effects themselves, as you can see, it was a tedious process, and I had to mute the volume of this thing because every time you see that little bar go across there, I did say it in my previous video, the longer version. Man, this song is stuck in my head. I've always said if you're creating a show, you need to understand two things. Number one, pick a song that you love, but understand, number two, that you're going to end up hating that song because you're going to know every beat to the song. You're going to hear everything probably 600 times in 10 minutes. And you're going to play it over and over and over again, protecting things. You're going to see this stage in your sleep. Like, I sit there and I hear the music and I'm thinking of different things. Like, oh, this fire could go off here, a firework here, or new lighting here. And it just snowballs into something crazy. So that's why I always say, pick a song you love because it will get you through it. But pick a song that you're going to love to hate because, yeah, it's... I loved when I did my KDA videos. That was a 10-minute video. That was, I think, 4 or 5 songs in that whole sequence. And yeah, that was probably my biggest build of doing a whole show because, you know, I could have just did a normal show, just the same as this. I could have just did the stage and walked away and been happy, but I don't know. I just had too much fun just going crazy, which is why I think it's good to have that gap of the weekend because it's me allowing myself to have the time to maybe do something that you're not going to expect on Monday. I might just delete everything, just have a boring show. I don't know, but at the moment, it's turning into something crazy. Like I still don't know what to do with Around the Surround. So you can see there in the background whilst I'm here playing that song over and over again. But I have like a road going around it sort of, and I was going to build that up, but I thought, what's the point in building it up if your frame rate's already struggling? Like I don't want to add too much to the park and then be like, oh, now I can't listen to the music. So these are things you got to think of, you know. But as I said, hopefully you're playing the game, hopefully you're having fun. I know some people have gone back to Planet Coaster, some people aren't playing at all, but yeah, I'd love to hear what you're making. I know a couple of people have sent me things in private messages of what they're creating, and as I said, like, you might not want to comment what you're building for everyone to check out, or you might want to do that, but if you just want me to check it out and have a look, I'll always download people's workshop items and have a look. And like, I don't want to be one of the people that Channel 5 that reviews them, but yeah, like, I'll give you good feedback, I'll check it out and always reply to you and say like, hey, like, really good job or something like that. But it's just more about creating just I don't know, I feel really good about like the people who watch my videos because it's such a creative mindset that all these people have of just seeing something different in the game. Like I know people are creating ridiculous roller coasters and ridiculous slides and ridiculous stage shows, and I feel like I found my cool little niche of just creating random stuff. So it's pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen my shorts video, but there's a poll that I might put up later, but it's a mini poll in that video about what I should do next, because as I say in that video, there are a lot of little projects like this that I've got going, but I'm starting to look for that big project, and I don't know whether to wait until Planet Coaster drops its next batch of scenery and see what they make, or maybe go back to Planet Coaster, I'm not sure. Or we might see where this Movie World Challenge takes us. As I said earlier on my TikTok, them calling me out for the flash ride, but we'll see what happens there. So I suppose I should talk about the lighting and stuff like that. I think I've just rambled, sorry about that if you're actually here to see how someone creates a show, but As you've seen in my 5-minute lighting guide, everything trickles down. So lighting done, that can go away. Next stage, I want to do pyro, so I'm just keeping everything separate so that I can keep track of everything easier. And then this is pretty much where I decide in the fireworks show, you know what, I'm just gonna just go crazy. And it's just gonna be more of a laid back show of, like, I don't know if you've seen some fireworks shows where they do light it by hand, where it's pretty much they know the track and they're just trying to keep up and just light things as they're going. But I think with the amount of lighting that I've got in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a section at the back where all the fireworks is, and then if your PC is struggling, you can delete that and just have like the minimum fireworks. So like that there, the little Roman candle coming off the top, that's probably be about it, but nothing too crazy, and then you'll be able to delete that little parts of the show if you really need to. But also seen some people commented on maybe uploading a little lighting pack so that you'd be able to select lights and do what you want in that. While I try and work out ideas of how to do it, make sure you put in the comments like what you would like to see in a video like that. There are so many videos ideas that are stuck in my head. It's getting hard to keep up with my brain on what to create and what not to create. But as the video comes to an end in another 10 minutes, we're going to really focus on the copying of the whole build piece now. So this is how it's going to be set up for you. Of say you've created that whole left side of the stage, and then it's time to copy it over. So what you want to be able to make sure you can do is when you select your lights, that only the lights are on, and then making sure that you're only copying the lights themselves. You don't need the stage pieces and all that sort of stuff. You just want the lights and what you need. So I've included some lights that I don't want to show you what you can do in them things, but you literally just press save group to scenery, create a new creation. Don't look at my other things I've made, that's a secret. But yeah, just put whatever you want. I just put stage left, and then just any description really. Doesn't matter about browser location, doesn't matter about filters, like you'll be able to find it really easy. I'll show you where to find it when you do it. But then you'll literally, once it's finished, is you'll go into scenery. Oh yes, pause the game because fireworks do go off when you do it. Press create blueprints, and then your own filters, and then obviously find the stage left that we created, and then you just import it into the game. So let's see if you can spot the mistake. I don't spot the mistake until later on, but you've literally just created the whole other stage of your show in 2 clicks or 3 clicks, maybe more. But the whole idea of it is saving time in the stage build part, in the lighting part, so that you can have more fun with your show later on. And it's not that hard to just copy a show and over. So what I like to do is I like to move it away from the stage so I don't confuse myself. And then I normally start with the sequences, is I just mirror them to the other side so that I don't confuse myself any more than I do. And then that part's pretty much sorted on how I have everything set up. So I'll go and put that back over where it is. And then we'll just go back and forward, slowly grabbing different pieces of lights so that we can keep track of things that way. So I think this is, if you haven't noticed the thing yet, I know obviously I haven't noticed it yet. So when you're creating stuff like this, you've got to remember to mirror it to the other side. So you'll see here with the fireworks, I like to go piece by piece so I know that I've done it. Don't put it on the stage and then flip it because you'll confuse yourself. But I normally just go little section by section, sliding it over and going, okay, well, just this piece, flip it, this piece, flip it. So that way, when I press play on the show, obviously all the fireworks and all of the lighting doesn't just go off in the same direction for our cool effects. That's why you spend so much time earlier to relax now, because this is just a rewarding part. You literally just get to relax and copy it, and then by the end of this video you're going to see a stage show put together and just playing. So it's really cool to make stuff like this. And then yeah, that's it. So now when I go over here, I notice that the lights are missing on our rotating heads down there. If you haven't noticed, you'll see when I notice it. So you hear, I'll be like, oh, there we go, I found it, thank you, that's a great job. So this happens when copying over things. So normally what I do is I just reload my save, and then sometimes it's in. But when I checked it then, you've seen that it didn't upload into the saved blueprint. So what I do is I just go back in, I confirm selection, save the blueprint again, click the stage left that I did before. I normally create a better thumbnail so I could keep track of things better. But then as you see when you upload it, ta-da, it now has the moving head. So that can just be a little glitch that happens in the game. Really easy to fix. It's no big deal. Like the other thing it could be is if you do have too many moving pieces of what's going on. And that's the whole reason why we have all of our lights in separate groups, so that if that is the case, I can just select the moving heads, the sequences that are associated with the moving heads, copy them as a blueprint, and then move on to other things. So let's say if I wanted to put lighting on each of them towers around the arena, instead of me copying the whole show each time and deleting all the lights, I can just select them lights and them sequences, save that as a blueprint, and then put it around the arena, and then literally I just add it to my master sequencer and bam, it's done. So it's a really easy process. It took me so long to discover this in Planet Coaster 2. If you ever get a chance to look at my DEF CON video, the one with the elephant, that was one of the shows that took me probably about a month, because every single light is programmed individually. Just let that sink in. so it was a very long process of doing that light, to when I did my climax in the outdoor stage, it took me maybe 2 weeks to create a show. Like, this is probably a week's build right now. It's not crazy, it's not over the top. Like, as I said, there's not that many lighting options to what you can do and can't do. So when them options come in, it's going to be good that you learn them now, so that you're not mucking around when you get to it. So that's the whole reason why I try to keep lighting as minimal as I can. Not just for the fact that for some reason they're overpowered and they literally blind you when you turn on lights for some reason. I think it's just one of my setting effects that I might have on. But yeah, you just slowly, like, I know you could just cheat, copy this over whatever way you want. That's the whole point of this being a sort of a slower tutorial of this can be done in whatever way you want. You could copy the whole stage to the other side if you wanted to, with the trusses, with the lighting and everything else. But as I said, it literally just goes down to you of what you can do and everything else. So I'll literally just slide it along, make sure it's lined up, and then just piece by piece by piece the stage just comes together. And it's so easy. But this is the other part with my Medusa head, and it's good to line it up like that so that you're not playing around later. Like, I can literally set these and forget them. Like, I can press play on that sequencer and it should just work. Now, you might see that it doesn't just work like that, but this is what I was talking about before, of any parts you don't need from that blueprint, delete it, done. The sequencer will update itself automatically. It doesn't need to add all the extra fireworks that you didn't copy over. It literally will just not play them in your sequencer, so it's fine. But remember, if you remember that breakdown video, the tree image that I put up of the breakdown. So you've got to think of all of them sequences around the back there trigger into these three master sequences. So these three master sequences now must trickle into this full stage show. So whatever you've designed your show in, so at the moment mine is the light show. Here I am explaining it again in my video. So the master light has all of the show on it. I double check it, I make sure it's all good, and then I just literally add the two of them sequences, and guess what? That show is created. Oh, here's another thing with that sequencer while I see it. Look at the time. For some reason, the sequencer can jump to random times. Like right now, it's at 0:21. That's what I remember the problem being was. I freaked out because I pressed play on this show, and it didn't work. Oh, this is another thing. Look, all these problems are popping up. For some reason, the fire effects come on, honestly, and automatically, and they don't turn off. All you simply need to do is open up one of the sequences, press play, and then it'll turn off. It'll reset itself and go back to normal. So any fireworks or anything like that that go off, simply do that and it's good. So here you are seeing me freak out because I've just realized, oh, for some reason it's put it all the way at 20. So just set it back to 0. Oops, not 10, 0. and then you're really sorted with all of that. Like it's a scary thing for stuff like that, but as I said, save often, reload often, you won't have a problem with any of this sort of stuff. What I should have did was I should have saved before copying it over, because if you get too many steps in front, you can't undo it, and then you could be screwed at that point and say if some of the fireworks don't go off or the lighting doesn't sync. But what you're pretty much seeing is this part of the stage finished. So you can see it syncs up perfectly. You've literally created a full light show in half the amount of time, because you got to think, how long would it have taken us if we did all of them lights on each of them sequences? You'd probably still do it the same, but that process, it would have taken forever to do something like that. But as you can see, these are not like revolutionary tricks. Like I've seen people doing these tricks for ages, but it's more just helping you, because I'd love to see you create stuff and have fun in the game like I do. Like creating full stage shows and stuff like that is so fun. Creating a massive Medusa head that's frozen the band, very fun to create and do stuff like that. So as I said before, you're seeing this on Friday. Keep an eye out for my movie world video that might be up on Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure how long that'll take to make, but then make sure you check out this and download it for yourself. It'll be available on console, PC, wherever you play Planet Coaster 2. It'll be on the workshop on Monday, but please come and check this out. Leave a like. You're probably seeing how I created the screenshot to the actual thumbnail that you're seeing now. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.